Chapter 42, Blood-Dripping Cave. Zhang Xiaofan hadn't expected such a big reaction from Bai Yao. He was startled by her pointing to the ceiling. There are few red stones up there. Bai Yao immediately walked closer, carefully examining the ceiling. Indeed, through the water droplets, there were 7 palm-sized red stones embedded in the ceiling, with the same texture as the surrounding stones, only differing in color. Seeing Bai Yao's tense expression, Zhang Xiaofan, also intrigued, stood up and looked at the stones. The 7 red stones appeared twisted, resembling a peculiar spoon shape. Especially the color, despite years of water erosion, remained as crimson as blood. Even the sparkling water droplets, as they passed over these red stones, reflected a bloody hue before dripping down, resembling drops of blood falling from the ceiling. However, once away from the red stones, the water droplets returned to their transparent state. As he watched, Zhang Xiaofan suddenly heard Bai Yao murmuring to herself, "Blood-dripping cave, blood-dripping cave, dripping blood ... Ha." Bai Yao suddenly brightened up, then slapped Zhang Xiaofan on the shoulder. Zhang Xiaofan's face paled at the unexpected force. Infuriated, Zhang Xiaofan was about to ask, but Bai Yao, entirely unperturbed, wore an excited expression. "You crafty old devil, placing the blood-dripping cave in such a location. No wonder we couldn't find it despite searching dozens of times over the past 800 years. Though surprised, Zhang Xiaofan quickly realized the situation. He muttered, "Evil and demonic." At this moment, Bai Yao's mood was jubilant. She didn't care about Zhang Xiaofan's bewildered expression. "I am indeed evil and demonic. So what? I should thank you for helping me find this place." Zhang Xiaofan begrudgingly acknowledged that they were in dire straits. If they couldn't find a way out, caught off guard, Zhang Xiaofan fumbled his words, but mustering his resolve, he urged her to observe the stones. Bai Yao, initially puzzled, approached and saw the reflections. Realizing the significance, determined, Bai Yao waded into the water, her clothes getting wet. With bated breath, she waited for the stone's reflection to reappear. Seeing her determination, Zhang Xiaofan couldn't help but be captivated by her beauty. The reflection of the stones emerged, and Bai Yao cautiously reached down, feeling 5 protrusions under the sand. Excitedly, she pressed down on them, but to no avail. Disappointed, Bai Yao glanced at Zhang Xiaofan before refocusing on the stones. Zhang Xiaofan had just wanted to say a few words of comfort to her when suddenly he saw Bai Yao seemingly remember something again. She focused on the water's surface, carefully searching near the reflections of the other 2 red stones. Sure enough, she found 2 more small stones. This time, she seemed more nervous, carefully pressing her left hand on them, and then simultaneously pressing down all 7 small stones. There was a moment when both Zhang Xiaofan and Bai Yao thought they had failed again. The cave fell into silence, with only the sound of dripping water breaking the stillness. However, after they waited for a long moment, a sharp but heavy crackling sound echoed in the cave. Bai Yao and Zhang Xiaofan looked over simultaneously, only to see that behind the water curtain, the once seamless and extremely hard stone wall was actually receding as a whole, slowly revealing a new opening. Zhang Xiaofan stared at the opening of the secret passage, feeling excited and fearful. But deep down, there was a curiosity that he himself seemed reluctant to admit. What would be inside this stronghold of the demon cult for the past 800 years? Bai Yao walked slowly to the shore, standing beside him. Her eyes were full of waves, full of smiles. Zhang Xiaofan glanced at her, seeing her skin as fair as snow, exquisite and unparalleled. There were even crystal-clear water droplets sliding down her face, almost as if they fell onto his heart. He trembled, dared not look again, turned his head and whispered, "Congratulations." Bai Yao seemed startled for a moment, but her eyes still carried a smile, her voice sounding somewhat gentle. "It's all thanks to your meticulousness." Zhang Xiaofan somehow felt his mouth dry and his face flushed. He took a step to the side instinctively, unconsciously distancing himself from the woman. He muttered, "Then why don't you go in and take a look?" Bai Yao looked at him, suddenly smiled. "Seems like you're a little afraid of me." Zhang Xiaofan immediately shook his head vigorously like a drum. No.